Pictures of Graf Zeppelin over Chicago that left onlookers in complete awe.
These vintage photographs show the airship Graf Zeppelin LZ-127 flying over Chicago in August 1929, on the American leg of its round-the-world trip. The crew flew the airship low over the city and the crowds were mesmerized by the sight. This is how the Chicago Daily Tribune described the event in her August 30, 1929 edition. Millions of Chicagoans take to the streets as the Graf Zeppelin cruises over the city to the accompaniment of the most tremendous roar of welcome that ever went up to the skies from this mid-continent metropolis. The great airship was first sighted in the Loop about 5:20 p.m., and it floated over the downtown area for about 18 minutes before it disappeared in the hazy eastern sky within 3 minutes after leaving the lakeshore. All of the buildings in the Loop as well as the streets were jammed with spectators, some of whom came from towns and cities 100 miles away. Although rain threatened for much of the afternoon, the clouds parted as the Zeppelin appears. As the big ship soared majestically across the Loop, circled Tribune Tower, swung south to Soldiers Field and then north again to Lincoln Park and away across the lake, the clouds opened and, for a brief time, the sky cleared. When people caught the first glimpse of the Zeppelin, automobile horns began to drown out the shouts of the onlookers as the locomotives of the railroads joined in the roar with their steam whistles. Tugboats and larger vessels on the lake and river also sounded their horns. The Zeppelin made a gigantic figure eight over the city, swinging north and circling Tribune Tower before heading south for a pass over Soldier Field where thousands in the arena cheer. Graf Zeppelin's most famous flight was the round-the-world voyage covering 21,250 miles in 5 legs from Lakehurst to Friedrichshafen, Friedrichshafen to Tokyo, Tokyo to Los Angeles, Los Angeles to Lakehurst, and then Lakehurst to Friedrichshafen again. It was the first passenger-carrying flight around the world and received massive coverage in the world's press. The flight was partly sponsored by American newspaper publisher William Randolph Hearst, who paid for about half the cost of the flight in return for exclusive media rights in the United States and Britain. Graf Zeppelin made 590 flights totaling almost 1.7 million kilometers, over 1 million miles. It was operated by a crew of 36, and could carry 24 passengers. It was the longest and largest airship in the world when it was built. It made the first circumnavigation of the world by airship, and the first non-stop crossing of the Pacific Ocean by air. Its range was enhanced by its use of blow gas as a fuel. After several long flights between 1928 and 1932, including one to the Arctic, Graf Zeppelin provided a commercial passenger and mail service between Germany and Brazil for 5 years. When the Nazi Party came to power, they used it as a propaganda tool. It was withdrawn from service after the Hindenburg disaster in 1937, and scrapped for military aircraft production in 1940.
If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel.